Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Critical Reactions with your host, Bryan. Today, we're going to be doing some more special selections. Something that I want to do on more Sundays from now is to, kind of help out and get through this lengthy list of special selections. So, we're going to be doing them, if I can, twice a week, Saturday and Sundays. So, today, we're going to be checking out a request from Ryan Pattison asking for the band Magma and the song Ëmëhntëhtt-Ré II, which is probably like so far wrong. There's a lot of modified letters there that I have no idea what sound they're supposed to make. It says it's sacrilege because it's actually part of a larger piece of music, but since all Magma songs are pretty much full albums, this is kind of the best way to go about doing this. And yeah, so this song is still 23 minutes long. So to think that it's only part of a larger work is just wow. I mean, 20 minutes. That's a long song, and I think the album's got a bunch of these. All right, so with that said, let's hop to it. Let's get some Magma done. Let's see what these guys got in store for us. Yeah, some cool synergy going on between the singer and bassist there. Cool. We got some little trade-offs between the bells and the guitar. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm feeling a lot of 70s prog in it, but there's a lot more inspirations that come from older time periods that are kind of informing how their progressive elements are working. Guitar and bells duet. That drumming though, right? We moved into 6/8. I think we moved into it. I don't think we were in that originally.
En Dio chasen des in den längstundi. En Dio chasen den delai. Dove rundo po, rundo yona. En det vi sier lengis, en det vi sier lengst. Rundo yona, vi vil av det lai. Etna, då vill lengis den vi want. Då vill intid, ich käsken den då hendet. En till lengis, då vill jag skoja. Vi vill lätt, aber keres kindred in den ons. Då verundo, tappelta härskamesta. Är det sen in den längis, då vi säger de är längtid. Då vill vi loj, 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 då vill vi rysse så vi.
All right.
Då vill riden till och loj, då vill riden till, då vill inte, då vill inte, då vill inte, då vill inte det ost. Då vill rådå, då vill inte jag med tjaskan i hets. Då vill inte jag med tjaskan. En delay stod ner, det sitter den av.
We got some droning and some slow buildup going on. Not a big fan, but we'll see where it goes. We're still early in the song. Playing a little bit with dynamics right here. Get a little louder, bring it back down. Get a little louder, bring it back down. Harmonized call and response. Yeah, I can get behind that. Dude's a storyteller, right? So much passion and emotion in what he's saying. Little inflections on his vocal delivery. I think this would be a lot more enjoyable for me if I understood the language. Because we just had like 4 minutes where the vocals were front and center. I'm really enjoying this like light melody. I think the bass is going crazy for a second there. Rhythm section as a whole is just tearing it up on this track though. Yeah, that bass is going wild. Yeah, I'm really getting the idea that this is the type of song you just lay back and fall into and see where it takes you, because there's a lot of these repetitious long builds in it. The atmosphere right here is very different. I felt a lot of triumph at the beginning, but this seems to be a bit of a downer going on. That triumphantness is back. The restraint right here of the drummer. I know he just bust out some real sick stuff, and he's just riding that hi-hat, maybe the ride cymbal, very calmly, very patiently, waiting for his turn to, show his chops again. Very clean falsetto though. So the section before this, the hi-hat stomping is actually in like a 4 and it felt really weird. Then you put it back into 6/8, so that was a weird like 2 bars. That piano is just in a different time feel right here. Ooh. Dude, that is funky. See, we moved into 4 right here. Got some vocal stingers going on. It's so weird that most of the song has like a swing feel to it on the 8ths, but his hi-hat is always straight. Like, it's this dysfunction between swing versus straight going on through this whole song. Talk about how difficult this vocal part is. We've got somebody scatting with the guitar solo on the channel, and I couldn't be happier. I really couldn't. Dude, they have variable like air pressures on these so that they can get the sounds on some of these notes, and they're hitting the like notes spot on. They have, an eighth, I mean half of a beat to really nail that note down. They have to just hit it. There's no time to like slide into it or anything like that. And they're doing that while, using variable air pressure, and the fact that they're just nailing the note every time. That's just impressive. It sounds simple, but that is an impressive vocal part. Drum and bass still tearing it up. Another band that does a lot of variation on theme. This is like the third time we've heard this in a third different context. Now we've split up the two vocal parts. This is a gutsy ending. Ooh. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, that was garbage. Not the song, obviously. The song was phenomenal, but the song ended without resolution because I'm going to assume that where the next song picks up would be sort of bar one that would kind of bridge the two songs, and if they had different chord progressions, that they might share some similarities there, so we at least get some resolution in the progression at the end there in the next song, starting with the next song. But as it stands, yeah, I just kind of left hanging on that one, and that just feels horrible after that ridiculous build up, and then that tense, God, that tense chord, the penultimate one. The last chord was directing. Like I could see where we were going to resolve to, but the one before that was just as raw tension. God, like pure dread in a chord form. And then I saw the signpost. I'm like, all right, we're going to resolve now. We're going to get that release. And then the song ends. Oh, man. So, this is definitely, stay with me here, 70s prog, written by a jazz fusion composer who likes to dabble in gent. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Oh man, there is just so much good stuff going on here. But it's not all good. There, you have to really be in the mindset for this kind of experience. It is heavily repetitious. It has three or four sections that are nothing but slow builds. Um, and you just have to be ready for that. You have to have, I think it's really difficult to go into the song, wanting to engage with it. This is I mean, just like a lot of the post metal we've checked out this last week, I feel like this is a song that either fits best as, background music, music to play while you're doing something else, maybe working or, cleaning or, whatever, just, kind of sitting in the background, or music to clear your mind to. Maybe use it as a sort of meditative tool to just lay down, throw some headphones on, and fall into the music and see where it takes you. Um, so I think it does those very well. I drifted off a couple of times here, which is just so weird. Like, it's not what I do. And this is like the second or third song where I think I'm slowly getting to understand this, even though it kind of rubs against my core ethos of music. I've explained this before. I'm just going to kind of recap this real quick. I look at music as art, and as with all art, it demands attention. I believe that it does a disservice to most art to only half engage with it. Have a TV show on, but but have your phone out and checking social media or something like that, only half engaging with what you're watching, or going to an art gallery and taking pictures of what you see so that you can, show your friends or whatever, rather than actually spending time to look at what it is. Or in the case of music, having it on, but not fully giving it your undivided attention. Um, and this, I mean, like I said, this kind of extrapolates into a lot of the ways that I engage with art. I don't typically have my phone out when I'm watching a series or, watching a movie or something. When I listen to music, I sit down, put some headphones on. That's music time. I'm not doing other things with it. And that's just how I approach art. So, like I said, I'm not diminishing any other way of engaging with art or engaging with music. This is just kind of my mindset and how I've kind of been raised, I guess, how I've been taught to appreciate music, that it is something that deserves your attention. So to see so many people utilize music as sort of background music or music to, just kind of chill with and not actively engage with, but kind of meld with, I guess would be an interesting word to use for the people who use music meditatively. Um, for me to like see the resounding support for those types of uses of music, as well as me kind of falling into that. Like I said, this is the third band that I've really just let my mind go and see where it takes me rather than listening to the music to see what is going on. It's very interesting. I've never had this perspective before where I'm kind of enjoying it, and I've never actually been able to do it before. Just kind of, let the mind wander. So, yeah, I'm the th- so these songs like this kind of they're 50-50 for me. It's interesting seeing them in this new perspective, but it's also very strange for me, and it's very difficult if I can't slide into that. Like the first 10ish minutes, I'd say I was analyzing the music, and not to say this negatively, it was boring. It had its moments, but then we had 6 minutes of the dude talk singing almost over a bed of nothing, like a light drum and a bass pretty far down in the mix as far as I'm concerned. Um, just several minutes of that, and yeah, that's a bit difficult for me to stomach. But closer to the end, my mind started to slip and go. My mind started to slip. Makes me sound like I'm losing it. My mind started to drift a little, wander a bit, and I'm starting to kind of see the appeal of that. I don't think I would specifically seek out these experiences, but I'm enjoying it when the situation is presented to me through the channel. Um, However, to speak about their musical aspects, dude, the frickin' rhythm section. That drum and bass held down this whole song so tightly, so succinctly, masterfully for 22 minutes, 23 maybe, I don't remember. Just like the drum parts weren't just simple, hold out the root note, and then when the chord shifts, go to the next root note. It wasn't like that, man. He was all over the place. He had some really jazzy inspired riffs to it. There were a couple of riffs he had that were just wild, all over the place, jumping up and down the staff, and just high then low, and then like a double here and a triple there, and just the thing is, it was low in the mix and a little muddy. The first time that riff came up, I actually didn't even know it was the bass. I'm still not 100% certain. It's the only instrument that fits that role from what I heard, so I think it was the bass, but I'm still not certain based on the tone. It was just so. I would love a remaster of this with the bass brought up, not a ton, not a ton. I think it does a really good job sitting lower in the mix. It's more about giving a little bit of drive and funk. Well, the funk would have been at the end, and actually it did gain a little bit more prominence there. But it's just kind of about keeping that drive, um, and I think just being brought up in the mix a little bit and giving some more clarity to it. It was a little muddy for me. I don't know if that was the tone or the mix. It was a very fat bass tone. uh, but yeah, the drummer and the basses were just laying it down, being real reserved when they needed to be, and then having the chops to just bust out some crazy stuff, and the drummer's just rhythmic sense, and the way that he just can accent certain beats while just like playing these lighter notes between them, a lot like Bored yesterday. Actually, both of these drum parts are very similar. Just Boards was a bit more explosive. But he's metal music, so I guess that makes more sense. But yeah, like this guy can just a lot of it was just jazz fusion stuff, and it just I love it. You can't go wrong with that fast, upbeat, up tempo jazz drum stuff. It just sounds good no matter what. Like I don't know about you guys. To me, it's utilized a lot in heist movies, and I kind of associate it with that kind of spy heist kind of thriller stuff. But dang, I mean, it just sounds so good. It always sounds good. And then, like I said, the bass was just tearing it up. The vocalist, I gotta give him props, man. Gotta give him props. I wasn't sold on it at the beginning. I was like, all right, this is cool. We got some older influence. I'd say like 50s and 60s male vocalists, um, especially in popular music, definitely. Um, Maybe not even. I mean, yeah, popular music, of course, but I don't know what language this is in. I don't know what their culture was like. Uh, you know, what parts of his culture he might be pulling his vocal style from. But having really only listened to American music, it does. I mean, it feels like 40s, 50s, 60s style male vocals from popular music. Not necessarily pop, just music that's predominantly in the mainstream around the time. Just a very throaty sound. He's singing from the back of the throat rather than the front of the mouth, and just has this air, this pompousness. This not pompous. Dang, that is. I mean, yes, a little bit, but also there's like some negative connotation to that. I want more of a positive word. But this royal sound. He's got this the strength of pulling it from the back of the throat. Uh, so yeah, just a really beautiful, warm sound that he gets from that. But dang, he also hits those falsettos. Maybe only one of them. Still surprised me. I mean, the guy's got range. Um, and then, dude, that final bit with the accented stings. Not only is that difficult to, I mean, on an instrument, you just, put the fingers where they're supposed to go and activate the sound, whether you're blowing into the instrument or strumming it or whatever. Uh, the instrument does the work of hitting the note for the most part. Um, there's embouchure for brass instruments. I'm sure there's embouchure in woodwind too, but from what I understand, woodwinds are kind of a little different. Strings, though, you just put your finger in the right place and pluck or string or bow or whatever, and you get it. But vocals, like, you have to have the muscle memory to hit the note. But then they're also doing a variety of different deliveries. There's more breath, airiness, forcefulness in the air pressure that's being sent out to get the to get those harsh, attacks. And yeah, to to vary your air pressure delivery while also maintaining that note accuracy repeatedly, and then also, thinking about the timing of it all, because it was just wild, genty, sort of, accenting every third beat, and then every fifth and a half beat, and then two beats after that. Um, yeah, just like keeping all of that in mind, and then having that accuracy and delivery every single time. And not only one person, but two, unless it was a backing track. I don't know the male. I only heard one male vocal up until there, and the two male vocals, they sounded similar. So I don't know if he just did a backing track on himself, but still, he would have had to sing both parts. So, I mean, just, and then the choir is just a nice touch. I don't think it's a full choir. I'd say it's maybe like two or three female voices. But their harmonies were nice. I like that call and response on the choir in the middle-ish of the track. The ending was just straight up jazz fusion. Just that getting that nice. I don't even know if that came through. But yeah, getting that nice upbeat, fast-paced, forward momentum rhythm going on. The bass tearing it up, guitar coming in, playing his thing, and then the escalation of the vocalists. Just all of the dynamics rising, and then they ended on that tense chord, man. Yeah. See that? So, like I said, I'm torn on this. I love the individual sections. There's so much about this that I love. I'm not a big fan of taking a single idea and spreading it out to 5 minutes. I think it worked well for the like minute 2 through 6 when the guy was talking. It gave him a bed to like talk, sing over, to deliver the story or whatever's going on. I mentioned that I don't speak the language, and I think I lost a lot because of that, because at least the beginning seems to be very steeped in what he was saying. Like I said, the entire song backed out, bowed down, so that he could take the spotlight for 4 minutes. A lot of the vocal delivery after that seemed to be more repetitious. It might have just been re-delivering ideas, but I think there's a core story or narrative or something from the beginning that I missed and would probably help with some context. Um, but yeah, I say this with the preface that I understand why these bands use these slow burns, but I would still prefer this to be 12 minutes long. I really think this is only a 12-minute song here. If we took out the slow burns and stuck with what was actually moving. I know, that's controversial, and like I've said before, I don't think it would make the song better, it would just make it more enjoyable to me. And maybe there's some people that agree with me on that, maybe there aren't, but it's not my work of art. I'm not saying, again, that it would be better if they did that. I'm not saying that it's worse off because they stretched it out. Only that I would enjoy it more if it was condensed down to its moving parts. Um, but yeah, like I said, no way am I bashing on the art or the artist. The song's phenomenal. It took me on a journey in a couple of sections, which is more than most of these long slow burn bands do. Usually, I'm just kind of sitting there. Um, some of that might be on me. Maybe I'm growing to enjoy that, or maybe not necessarily enjoy, but I'm growing to be able to do that. Some of it might just be the bands that are selected. Some bands, I'm just able to slip in and see where they take me. Other bands, other songs, I don't. We will find out more as we continue this little journey of critical reactions. That is one of the things I love about doing this is not only just about listening to new music, but understanding new ways of writing music and to listen to music and, everything that grows in expanding my music view. I was going to say worldview, but it's not really a worldview. It's a music view. I don't think that's a word, though. But we're going to say it. We're going to expand our music view. That sounds dumb, though. I'm not going to say it again. Music view. All right. This is where you guys come in. No, hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought. I kind of get the idea there's going to be a lot of people in the comments who either know about them and are so glad I finally did them, or don't know about them but are going to be checking out more stuff because I feel like this is right up the alley of a lot of my viewers. Like I said, it's got that prog rock thing. I have a lot of prog rock people in here, and it kind of fuses that with some really cool elements. Like I said, jazz fusion, and then a lot of just heavy syncopation. I kind of said, a jazz fusion composer who dabbled in gent, and I still feel that, but not like super gent. Maybe just really likes syncopated accentuation. That's a weird syncopated accentuation. Oh, you can syncopate that phrase. Syncopation, accentuation. All right, I'm kind of losing my mind here. So we're just gonna wrap this up. Like I said, you guys can hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought. If there's any other Magma songs, uh, hit me up with those too. I guess maybe a little on the shorter end, but also maybe they don't do that. I don't know. And yeah, if anybody has a link to the lyrics, I guess I'm gonna check on a little old internet search, see what I can dig up. Yep, that's the word I want. Dig up. See what I can dig up about it. And yeah, but if anybody else knows of like an official source or an official translation or something that isn't just some guy on the internet who's using his high school whatever this language is and trying to convert that to English, something more official or like a seasoned linguist in this language might have translated it. I'm very interested because, like I said, I do think I lost a lot by not knowing what's going on in the narration, in the vocal story. So yeah, above the comment section, we got some buttons, like, subscribe, and a bell to ring. They help out the channel immensely. And if you like to get updates and know when I'm doing my stuff, they can help you out immensely too. There's also a description box with links to Patreon and the special selection spreadsheet and uh, it's a special selection list. It happens to be a spreadsheet, but it is just a list. You can only view it. But there's also a reaction spreadsheet if you'd like to add your requests for what I should be reacting to. And if you want to get in on the special selection, there's also a link to Patreon with instructions below it for how to get on the list and get your stuff reacted to. All right, so I have one more coming out today. It is much shorter. I think it's like 4.5 minutes long. So that'll be a shorter video. And then tomorrow we start next week's post rock. And I am a little less optimistic going into this than going into post metal, but it's part of the journey, part of the exploration, part of seeing what else is out there. So I'm still excited about it, but post rock left me a little jaded about the post genre. All right, you guys take care. Have a fantastic afternoon or evening whenever you choose to watch my videos, and you guys stay safe out there. Seriously, 2020 is getting weird. All right, and it was weird to start with. See ya.